Okay, here we go. Don't know why my forehead looks so shiny, but this is the best spot in the house to actually get good audio quality, so we're gonna film from here. What's up, you guys? My name's Anna. Welcome to Anna Does Money. Today, let's talk about side hustles. I have tried them all, and I'm gonna give you the truth about side hustles today. Since I started this debt recovery journey, I thought, okay, well, we should try to make more money, right? So I've tried to set up a lot of different side hustles since I've started this debt recovery journey. I've tried selling my used clothes on Poshmark. I've tried blogging on Medium. I've tried setting up a drop shipping business. I've tried cryptocurrencies. And yeah, did I make money? I did. I actually made money on almost all of the side hustles that I started. Am I still doing them? Not really. And I'll get into that a little bit later. First, maybe I'll back up and tell you a little bit more about myself if you haven't seen my videos before. I got into pretty bad credit card debt when I first moved to Toronto about 4 years ago. I got my first job, I was super excited, and I thought, okay, like I'm an engineer, like I should be getting a pretty good salary, I should be able to afford this condo downtown, the car to get to work, you know, going to bars, eating out, enjoying that big city life. Yeah, I couldn't. Very quickly, I was spending way more than I was making, and that's how we got to where we are today. Well, actually, not quite. Over the last year, I've made a lot of progress to improve my financial situation. I've made drastic changes to my lifestyle, moved into a far cheaper location outside of the city, barely ever eat out, like really cut down any of my extra expenses. I've also doubled my salary over the last 4 years, so I'm very blessed to have an excellent salary. And now I'm at the point where I can be putting about 40, sometimes 50% of my after-tax salary towards debt repayment and some savings. So by a lot of people's standards, where I am today, I'm actually doing very well. And I'm so grateful for where I am today. So why did I start those side hustles in the first place? Well, for the same reason everybody else does. I watch way too many YouTube videos of people making really good money from the comfort of their home, being their own boss, running their own businesses. And I thought, yeah, I could do that too. It's probably my toxic trait, thinking that I can pretty much do anything. And I know all these videos online are not necessarily the truth. A lot of people inflate their numbers, and it doesn't necessarily show how much hard work actually goes into building these businesses. It doesn't show all the failures. It only says, hey, like I'm making $100,000 a month, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I might be a little bit gullible. But hey, I wanted to give it a shot. If that could mean living my life on my own terms in the long run, like I was all for it. Plus, if I ever lost my job or something like that, at least I wouldn't be totally dependent on the little savings that I have, because obviously I'm in debt repayment, so I don't really have much savings. At least I would have a little bit of extra income that I can live off, right? So I jumped right in. I started by running on Medium. Usually I was making about $5 to $10 an article that I wrote, but I had one that did really, really well and made me $800 for about 2 hours worth of writing, which is great. But then I stopped writing. Then I decided, okay, I'm gonna sell my clothes on Poshmark. So I cleaned out my closet, pretty much ended up selling everything I had. Didn't make that much money, made about $200 total. And then I stopped. I also built a store on Shopify selling chemical equipment, which I thought fit really nicely with my chemical engineering background. I built the entire shop, set up the vendors, like everything was good to go. And I didn't even click launch. Like that was the last thing to do. It was pretty much everything was done. I just had to click launch, and then I just stopped working on it. You can probably see that there's a pattern happening here. I quit. I always quit. When the initial excitement of a new project wears off, I get bored, it becomes actual work, and I stop. Yeah, I've got serious commitment issues. I know. If I dig into this further, there's probably a few reasons why I quit. I could probably boil it down to two big reasons. Number one is the time commitment. I started working my new job about 6 months ago as a management consultant. If you know anyone who works in management consulting, it is a very demanding job with long hours that are often very unpredictable. So when I'm done at the end of the day or at the end of the week, like I don't have the energy for anything else but to basically do my laundry and meal prep for the week and sleep. So I just spend the entire weekend recovering. Even though I tell myself, okay, but if you work really hard at these side hustles, then potentially it could eventually replace your job and you wouldn't have to work as hard on your day job, or you could potentially quit your 9 to 5, right? Like that should be good motivation. But like, I literally don't have time. I need that mental time to recover from my day job. Like I can't just be working at 120% all the time. It's just not possible for me. So the effort that it would take to work at those side hustles and build them up to a level that is high enough for me to be able to leave my 9 to 5 requires too much energy. Plus, what I find is happening if I spend a bit of time working on the side hustles a little bit more, my day job starts to slip, which makes it less likely for me to get promoted, for me to get bonuses at the end of the year. So that's not great either. So I'm sort of stuck in this decision all the time of, do I work hard at my side hustle or do I work hard at my job and climb the ladder there? And I feel like my opinion on this changes day to day, and it's probably a whole other video to discuss like what the best option is. And that brings me back to the second reason, and probably the bigger reason, is this commitment, right? I feel like I'm a little bit scatterbrained all the time when I discover this new way of making money. Like if I watch some sort of YouTube video, or I find one of my friends doing something really interesting, and then I'm like, wow, like I want to do that. And it becomes really exciting, and I spend all day and all night working on this new idea, whatever it may be, and building it and setting it up. And I don't sleep because I'm dreaming about it and thinking what else I can do with it. It becomes all encompassing. I literally can't sleep because I'm so excited by the prospect of this thing that I've discovered. I'm very quick at taking action and setting things up when I discover something new. I'm not the type of person where I'll dream about things but never take action. I always take action immediately and usually start reaping the rewards of that. I've been extremely lucky in all of the side hustles that I've attempted that I've always made money. Like taking Medium for blogging, for example, there's some people that put in so much effort and are only making like pennies on every single article. So for me to have, I think it was maybe my third article, get to $800 US, so that's like 1,000 Canadian, it's amazing. But then I get bored, I discover something new to be excited about, and the cycle starts over again. And that first thing melts away and gets forgotten, or worse, I, like with that Shopify store, I just leave it and I keep paying the monthly fees in the hopes that one day I'm gonna get inspired again to restart it, which never happens. I kick myself over this all the time. I'm like, if you just committed to working hard at this for like a year or like 6 months, like imagine what you could do if you took that beginner's luck and you actually made something out of it. I feel like the universe is screaming at me. I feel it's like, wow, she just keeps squandering her gifts. I've given her all these opportunities to build these things that she's interested in, and every time she just gives up. So I think that's gonna be the goal this year, is instead of trying to do a million things and getting excited about all these new things and then dropping whatever I was working on, the goal is to finish. I finished listening to an audiobook from the library called Big Magic. It's by Elizabeth Gilbert, who's the author of Eat, Pray, Love. But this is about creativity. And there's a very good quote in there that has been resonating with me lately, and that's, done is better than perfect. So whenever I'm like close to launching the Shopify business, for example, instead of just waiting for that perfect moment to launch it, like better to launch it and then improve on it, right? Just wait for that perfect moment. It's never gonna happen. So the goal this year is to focus on like one side hustle, maybe two if you include YouTube, because I plan on continuing with that as well. Just one, and work on it consistently for the entire year. Or the rest of 2022, and then see where I'm at and reevaluate, right? I can still keep a list of all these extra ideas I have on the side, but don't let them take up as much mental space as I let it. At least commit something for a decent amount of time and then check out the outcome, right? It's still gonna be tough to find the time, but I think if it's one thing instead of 10 things, it'll be easier to just say, hey, watch 1 hour less TV at night and take that 1 hour and put it towards the side hustle. I think I could probably find an hour or two in the day, depending on the day, to work on something extra. What that one thing is, I don't know yet. Maybe it'll be a whole other video. Anyway, I think that's enough of a rant for today. I really appreciate all of your positive feedback and support that I see in the comments. I apologize if I haven't had a chance to respond to you. I've been trying to be happy in my mental mind and not get too overwhelmed with everything, but I promise I do read all your comments and I'm so grateful for them, and I will respond as best as I can. If I don't, just maybe comment again so that way it pops back up in my notifications. But I really do appreciate and love your advice, so keep that coming, keep that good energy coming. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video or connected to this rant in any way, please leave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. And I promise I will see you next Thursday. We're gonna keep this consistent on Anna Does Money. Peace out, dudes.